Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a fuel pump rewire on a Srt4. Recently went to the track, and before I went to the track I gutted it. I wanted a little bit more fuel, but I got it the car. I know it's dirty, I gotta clean it up. I haven't had time to clean it. I haven't really had time to do videos because of my job, but I only got one good race in because there was too many cars. We haven't had one of these events in a long time. So, but basically I wanted a little bit more fuel because I wanted to bring up the boost a little bit. I brought it up to 25 psi, and without this, the rewire, I wasn't going to be able to get it done. You're going to need 14 feet of 10 gauge wire. 14 feet of 10 gauge wire. You're going to need a 30 amp relay. You can get that at AutoZone. You're going to need a 30 amp relay and a 30 amp fuse holder for that as well. You're going to need, little connectors and things like that. Now, the way I have it done here, basically, I did it as easy as possible, just so I can show you guys. But I have it connected to the battery. I have it connected to the battery. Usually the way I would do it is I would connect it back here to the alternator, but I'm just gonna show you like this, so it'll be an easier demonstration for you guys. So this is gonna be the 14 feet of 10 gauge wire. You can get this at Harbor Freight. I got the fuse holder, 30 amp. It came with the fuse and everything. You can get this at AutoZone. And the relay, I got it at AutoZone as well. Okay? So, let's get to it. You would have, I would imagine if you are trying to do this, you're somewhat, you have somewhat of knowledge on working on cars. It shouldn't be hard to do, but make sure all the connections and everything are tight, and they're not loose, because it'll give you problems. You will cut the 14 feet about 12, not 12, this is like what, 18 inches or so, something like that. Okay, you attach it to the battery terminal. Also, before doing this job, make sure you disconnect it from the battery, the negative. But I did the positive just so I could make it easier for me. Alright, so you get pretty much this length off the 14 feet 10 gauge wire. Alright, then you connect the fuse holder, right? You connect the fuse holder, and then connect the rest of the feeds you got left on the 10 gauge wire to the other side of the fuse holder. Now from here, you run it all the way to the back of the car. Alright guys, so I bring the rest of the 14 feet down here, and I run it next to the fuel line for the return, because I have a return line all the way to the end of the fuel pump. Okay, so now that you find this connector right here to the fuel pump, you're going to find a green wire with a white stripe, and you're going to cut it a good bit, because we're going to install that wire to the relay. Now here we have the wire coming from the battery, and that will be installed in the fuse holder or the alternator, wherever you would decide to put it. Put it on pin 30, and then pin 85, which is this one, is going to go to a ground, and I have it connected right over here. And now the green wire that we cut, the green and white wire, the part that goes to the part that is coming from the harness, right from the front, is going to go on pin 86, which is this one. And then the part that goes to the connector is going to go to pin 87, which is this one right over here. Okay, so the wire that is connected to the battery and the fuse holder is going to go on pin 30 on the 30 amp relay. So this is going to be pin 30. Pin 85 is going to go to a ground, which is this is pin 85. I have it connected to this one right here. Pin, let's see if I remember correctly. Pin 86 is going to be the green and white wire that we cut, the part that goes to the harness. Right, it goes up here. And then pin 87 is the other part. Is the other part of the green and white wire that goes to the connector, and that goes up here. It goes from this side. So this side will go to pin 87, which is the green and white, and then the other side of the green and white wire that goes to the harness, which is up there, is going to go on pin 86. Then the power wire that's coming from the front of the battery is going to be pin 30, and then the ground is going to be pin 85, which is this one right here. Again, I have it connected here. So that's basically it. That's basically how you do the fuel pump rewire. So that's where when we do the rewire. When we do the rewire, we are making the cables thicker. We're making the cables bigger, so it'll be better flow, and it'll be straight 12 volts coming from the battery or alternator. This thing helps the pump perform how it should, without having to share that power wire with any other connectors or any other wires in the system. So this, I basically did it just like this. I took a lot of things off just so I can show you guys how to do it. I will be making it better, obviously, but that's basically the rundown of how I did it on my car. Before that, you can make your so we're not going to need that's a 5-pin relay, so we're not going to need the middle pin on the relay. So you're just gonna use 87, 86, 30, and 85. So again, pin 30 is gonna go to the power wire up in the front of the battery. Pin 85 is gonna go to the ground. Pin 86 is going to go to the part that pin 86 is going to go to the green and white wire that's coming from the harness, and then pin 87 is going to go to the connector that goes to the fuel pump. The pump, honestly, it gives it a big difference once you have it hooked up like that. I think I was running, before this, I think my AFRs at wide open throttle were at 12.6, I think, on 20 pounds of boost. After I did that, it went down to 11.6. But I raised the boost up a little bit, 25 psi. And let me tell you, this is one of the easiest mods you can do to any Srt4. It doesn't matter if you're big turbo, stock turbo. It'll just help the pump regardless. So that's it.